because a couple of people had asked about how how I do the channel point rewards. And so I kind of wanted to go through just a little bit of what I'm doing with Lioranboard. Then I'm going to get down to actually playing video games. So hopefully my voice will still come up here. I may have to actually add my I may have to add an audio to my other scene. So let me go to the desktop and hopefully I won't cut out. Hey, I think I'm still there. Okay. So this is Lioranboard. This is what I'm using as a it's sort of a Twitch chat listener. In my it listens to my chat and has the ability to modify my OBS. The way I find it is you just search for Lioranboard in Google, and it's the very first thing that shows up in Google is the link to the Lioranboard extension. So you download it here. I found that the best documentation for Lioranboard is off of the Discord channel. So if you go to this link, you click the Discord channel, you'll get, let's see, where is my Discord? Nice. How's it going, Bracky? So yeah, if you go to the Discord channel, you will get to this Lioranboard Discord. I recommend clicking on the guide. Read this guide first, and this the Christina 9031. This website has the best Lioranboard documentation out there. It is here. It has all the information you need about setting up the thing, and also how to what to do to add it to OBS, and like lots of different examples. So this is how I went and set up Lioranboard. It also has a complete list of all the different commands you can do, like if you want to switch a scene. You have all the commands there. So yeah, so this is the best documentation that exists. So once you download Lioranboard, you'll basically get this folder, which has it has a README and commands, and like those are kind of useful, I guess. The two programs I use are the Lioranboard receiver, which kind of ties together OBS, Twitch, and the Stream Deck together. It's also the place where you do the editing of commands. And then the Lioranboard Stream Deck, which is the program where I can actually play with the different buttons that I have made. So I have different decks, two different decks right now. One of them is like my, this is the button I click to start stream. I have the ability to change to different scenes. I don't usually use these buttons just quite yet. This was also the counter for Bowser when I was doing the Grand Poo World 2 Bowser. I could just click the PB plus, the 6 plus, the 7 plus, and it would update the text in OBS with the right information. And that was basically each of these buttons also clicked this update Bowser text button, which then updated the text that I was displaying. So here are the the buttons I have for channel point rewards. At the very core, I have basically a button for each sound. I'd actually like this to be different, but you know, I can click on each one. Or I can click on random Zelda, and it'll pick a random one. Or I can click on random Hornet, and it'll do a random Hornet, or a random Dung Defender. And it'll do a random... God, I love that sound so much. It'll do a random Dung Defender sound. This is the one that changes the picture. So if I click Change Animated GIF, you'll see that it has like a little countdown of how long it's going to be until the next one is available. But wait, did that actually... It was supposed to change the thing. Anyway, I thought I fixed this so that it doesn't, so that it should change every single time, but I don't know if that actually worked. So these are the two things that are basically set up to do all of my channel point rewards. So I wanted to show kind of what those look like. And yeah. So in this, like I said before, this Lioranboard receiver, this is the place where you do the different editing of commands. So if you you can pick a particular deck and click it, and it will basically bring you up to this this editor. I can do things like I can adjust the width of the buttons and stuff like that. It's not important for the channel point rewards, you know, because it's you guys that are actually clicking these buttons, not me. But like, if I wanted to use this as a stream deck, I could, you know, do a bunch of editing of the stuff here. So let me first let's first talk about how I made the random Zelda button. So when you're in Lioranboard, you can just like click on an empty space, create a blank button. There's a bunch of different you know, basic buttons of you know, like if you wanted to switch the scene, it will create a button that can switch a scene for you. So these are kind of macros that you can do. That's how you create a button. And then when you actually have a button, you can right click and you can say add commands. And this will take you to the main area where you can define what commands you want to run. There are a ton here, and they all correspond to they're all in the documentation. Here, what I'm doing, I'm actually going to show this. So if I look at if I right click on the Zelda, you can see this says button ID 1, button ID 2, button ID 4, button ID 3, all the way up to button ID 10. So these are all grouped in the same button ID. So when I do edit commands, the lowest button ID I have is 1, and the highest one is 10. I have a Lioranboard pick me a random number, assign it to the variable random button, and then I say please trigger the button called of whatever thing you selected, and also make it queuable. Making it queuable makes it so that it can enter the Twitch queue. So if multiple people if multiple people have redeemed the channel point reward, it can like add it and just, you know, have it do it again. So basically this random Zelda button will then trigger one of these 10 buttons. you're about to go full stupid with your aesthetics in this level. Nice. That's good. So that makes it so that whenever I click this random Zelda button, it triggers one of these 10 buttons, which in turn triggers one of the sounds. Nice. Okay. For the sound redeem, this is the so I put this all into one button so that it would trigger, like, if one person triggered a Zelda sound and then another person triggered a Hornet sound and then another person triggered a Dung Defender sound, I didn't want them all to overlap. So I have it all in one sound redeem. Let me show you the commands here. This is a bit more kind of advanced. This is kind of programming, but it's really not. So when somebody redeems something, I can see who redeemed it, what was the name of the trigger that was redeemed. So if the redeem was Hornet, then I trigger the random Hornets button. If somebody did the Dung Defender, I trigger the random Dung button. And if somebody triggered the Zelda one, I then play the random Zelda sound. So basically it's by setting up a hierarchy of buttons to push that I set up the channel point rewards. So you need to learn these kind of commands. This overtime, by the way, is what sets my cooldown. And I found 5 seconds to be pretty nice for in terms of sounds. The other thing with sound redeem is, the other thing with Lioranboard is that you can set up different Twitch triggers that trigger the button itself. So in this case, I have channel point redeem, and you put the redeem name, and so whenever somebody redeems one of these things, it will automatically trigger this button. So let's just do that now. So if let's say I go and redeem the Zelda, you'll see it triggered the sound redeem sound, which triggered the Zelda sound, which picked one of the 10 buttons to run, which then played the sound. So that's essentially how all of this works. With these things, all you have to do, so for the simple sounds, all you have to do is add a sound effect, and basically you just point to a directory that has the sound file in it, and that's it. So for the random Zelda button, it's basically picking a random number and then doing the triggers. And here in sound redeem, it's just picking which of the 3 the person redeemed in order to trigger the right thing. I should also mention that you can add you can add several different things, basically whatever happens on Twitch, whether it be a chat message. So this with chat message, this is how I did the when it was just like exclamation point Hornet. This was how I did the commands there, was I just made it so that there was, you just put in exclamation Hornet here, and then the button would trigger when somebody put that in to the chat. This change animated GIF, GIFs, I guess, is a little bit more complicated. I'm basically going to leave this up for a few seconds so that anybody who wants to go back and take a look at this thing later can see exactly what commands I'm using. But essentially, I have a GIF directory. I have a thing. I have a thing that Lioranboard calls a stack, which is really just a list of items. And that list of items contains all of the different random images I have in this dance directory. And so it will pick it'll pick a random image to display from that list of things. This is what is, so this here, this redo previous if is supposed to, like, if the random image that was selected is the same one, it's supposed to go back and pick the random, pick a random image out of the stack. I hope that that's working, but that's basically how this works, is that it goes back and it tries again if it ended up picking the same image. So I have, again, a 5-second delay on this, so that if multiple people redeem, it'll at least keep the same image up for 5 seconds before it goes and displays somebody else. So this source change settings, by the way, is you're changing one of the sources in OBS. So this is the same name as the OBS image that I use for the what's currently the Peepo Hana Goose, and basically you change the source settings so that the file now points to something else, and that's what actually triggers the image change. Okay. Is there anything else I wanted to say? No, I think that's it. Hit me up if you have any questions on Discord, or whisper me in Twitch, and yeah. Anyway, I'm going to stop the recording and I'm going to put that up on YouTube and then point a couple people to it. Anyway, thanks for listening to me.